Hello everybody, John here, and today I'm making good on a promise to show you guys how to recharge your air conditioning at home. And Purdy's already running and we're going to get straight into it. So it's about 23 degrees today, and we're going to have a quick look at how to check and recharge the air conditioning on your Jaguar XK8, XKR, X308, and to be honest, practically any car of the modern era. So anything that's from the 1990s onwards, the system will be very similar, excepting exotics. I've got no idea what happens on a Rolls Royce or a Lamborghini, so don't ask. But majority of vehicles conform to a very similar standard. So for the XK8, this is what we do. Okay, so the first thing is, before you can check or recharge your air conditioning, get your engine up to temperature. So Purdy's now running normally. Next, turn on your air conditioning on low. A bit noisy. That's just achieved by pressing the down button as many times as possible, and keep it on recirculate as well. And that's basically the ultimate in cooling effect. And that needs to happen to properly check and recharge the aircon, but also enables you to do an interior check. We've got a neat little thermometer. This is an aircon thermometer, and what you can do is insert it into, in my case, the damaged air vents. There we go, and we'll just leave it there to chill down and see what temperature we achieve. Now, I know that my air conditioning is in pretty good condition at the moment because I checked it previously, thought I had a leak because there was no gas, and took it to a independent Jag place to get it sorted, who discovered there was just no gas. I'll show you a little extra clip about how that went. So this is the Jaguar Independent I use, Jaguar Boston, locally known as Mr. Muggleson's. Neil Muggleston is the guy who owns it, serious Jaguar enthusiastic. Him and his sons really provide an excellent service. There's Joe and Betsy ready to collect me, and there's Purdy. And yeah, we dropped the car off to have the aircon sorted out, and also have the timing chains checked out to make sure that they had been converted to the full metal system. And Neil said, "Oh great, you're leaving the car? Can I display it?" Well, what do you mean display it? And he was having a visit from some friends from the Jaguar Enthusiast Club, South Lincolnshire division, that day for a barbecue on his front lawn. And this is a display of their cars. And we popped back a bit later in the day to kind of join them and have a mooch around. And sure enough, Neil had put Purdy on display, and apparently it attracted quite a lot of attention, as people just don't see an XK8 that is so early. And we're checking out all the little quirky features that I've been sharing with you. So yeah, if you're going to take your car to a Jaguar Independent and you're in the UK in Lincolnshire, check out this place. Anton's Gout is the place name near Boston where it is. And Jaguar LPG conversions, Jaguar Boston, Neil Muggleston are all things that you'll use to search for it and find it. Anyway, they checked out my air conditioning and found out that it literally just had no gas in it. So during restoration, it hadn't been regassed. Charged it up, no problems. Anyway, net result is my air conditioning's been checked and recharged recently. By recently, I mean a couple of months, so it may have lost a few ounces of gas. The next thing you need to do, and probably the bit that worries people about doing aircon, is you need to identify where to check, where to insert gas. And it's actually very easy once you've got your eye in, and obviously I'm going to show you for the XK8 particularly where to do this. Air conditioning almost universally uses aluminium solid pipe like this with occasional flexes. So you're looking for the system that has got this type of pipe work. That makes things easy to spot. Occasionally Fords, I think, spray these matte black, don't know why, but that's what you're looking for. Then you're looking for a black plastic cap. Now this, I know, is called the high pressure port. There are 2 ports, 2 black caps under the bonnet of every vehicle, and the high pressure port is not the one we want. But I'm going to show you so you know what we're talking about. This is literally just a cover like a bicycle valve cap cover or a tyre valve cap cover. So you're not doing anything by removing that. There you go. And this is what's known as the high pressure port. The low pressure port is the one we're searching for. It's the same but smaller, and that's great because the unique sizes means you can't get this wrong. You can not find the port, but you can't get this wrong. So I know exactly where the port is on here, so we're going to go straight to it. So same side of the engine, and you look back there, and there she is. I'm going to put the light on the camera now. There we go, and that's the low pressure port. It's exactly the same but smaller. Unscrew that, and you've got that same connection but a miniature. And just pull back so you can see where we are. Basically under the scuttle, driver's side on my UK spec car, just past the strut brace because I'm a convertible. There's the snorkel, and there it is. And again, you see that same aluminium pipe work, which is your clue for look at me. But you're looking for these. There we go, after a few minutes, mine's just, well, where is it? Got down to the green section almost on my aircon thermometer. Not an exact science, these things, they're only essentially meat thermometers, but sort of the 8-9 degrees mark. And yeah, it's just a long probe that you can jam in there. And it does depend which vent you stick it in and where you stick it as to how cold it gets. So I put that back in a different spot, and immediately it's going slightly lower. But if you're using this and you know you've got a problem with the aircon, then you're going to see a different reading. And you know, maybe if it's up here at the 60 Fahrenheit, 18 Celsius, you've got something to act as a before and after. Right, here I have the filler checker that I use. It's a basic one, it's not professional. It's available from Halfords if you're in the UK. Many other places are available. I'll put a link to it in the description below for anybody who wants to see what sort of price they are at the moment, but they're not expensive. This one's STP branded, and all you've got to do is use the quick release end fitting. It's got like a pull back here to get it back off again, and push it on to that low pressure valve that I looked at under there. So I'm going to do that now. Okay. It's a little bright out here today, so hopefully you can see that. It's showing just under the green, which is perfect for purposes of this demonstration. When I previously checked this, and as I described, had to go and take it somewhere, it was literally on the red on the left hand side, as in completely and utterly empty. So that's what I'm reading after the car's been running for a few minutes, and it's absolutely fine, but it could probably do with a fraction. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this back off. When you disconnect this, the pressure on the gauge remains, which can be good for seeing things, but before you do anything else, just to avoid getting false readings, pull the trigger, and that lets the pressure out and resets the gauge. Then you get your bottle of gas, and this is STP's branded again, Easy Chill Aircon Recharge, and this has got some aircon lubricants and sealants in the gas, so is basically like a bit of a service for your air conditioning system, as well as just gassing it up. And this is a refillable cylinder, so again, if you get a hold of one of these, you can take it back to where you bought it from when it's empty, and they generally give you money off the next cylinder. Remove the little black or red even cover. Now fit your refilling bottle by just screwing it in to the bottom. There you go. And refit this again. Don't connect that with the gauge attached. There we go. And obviously it's gone back to where it was, which is just a fraction below the green. I only want it just into the green because I don't want to put extra load on my system. If you're going to put a lot of gas in to your system, only maybe squirt the gas in for 2 or 3 seconds, then stop, give the bottle a shake like that, keep rotating it, because it is a mixture. Also, gas escaping from a tank under pressure like this tends to chill on its own and can freeze and block things up, so just keep things agitated and do it in small installments. So you see my pressure there. All I'm going to do is I'm going to press the lever for maybe 2 seconds, and now we're up to the bottom of the green. I don't want to go any further than that. You guys might have further to go. So at that stage, disconnect the end of the pipe and your system is charged. Unscrew your bottle. There might be a little bit of escape, not much. Put the little cap back on, because anything nudges that pin in the middle, all your gas is going to escape. And then, after admiring your handiwork, pull the lever to release the pressure out of your gauge. And that is that. Final step, as I have done previously, do not forget to get your black cap and screw it back on to the cover, to the pipe even. Get back in the car. Oh, it's cold in here. And that little glitch in the film is unfortunately where the batteries on my wireless microphone packed up. So in this bit of post audio, What I was telling you about, fascinatingly obviously, is that even with that tiny amount of gas, you can see that my thermometer moved by about, I'm guessing 4 degrees, something like that. The aircon systems are very sensitive to the gas pressure. It doesn't need much of a drop in order for you to lose that chilling effect. So don't go whacking it right into the middle of the green. There really is no necessity to do that. You just want it on the bottom edge of the green. The little thermometer that I've used, I'm just sharing here that this has got a sleeve to keep it safe. We also got a little pen clip, and that can be useful for clipping it onto different sorts of air vents and bits and pieces. It's quite a nifty little thing. I'll put a link to a similar one in the description below. And to round this one off, just a little request for assistance from myself. In trying to help one of our subscribers with a question about how the mirror is removed from your XK8, I didn't know, but I thought I'd do some experimentation and remove the cover which covers up the slider to try and work out whether the mirror pushes down towards the bonnet or up towards the header rail on a slide in order to remove it. I managed to break the little clips off for the little plastic cover. Not the end of the world, because I've got a bit of sticky silicone tape which will hold it in position. But what I am still intrigued with is, how do you remove this mirror? Turns out it's not as easy as I imagined. I'm imagining it just needs more brute force than I'm prepared to give it without knowing which way it goes. So if you know the answer to that, if you fit windscreens or you just happen to know this one, I'd be very interested. There is a little silver dot you can see in the picture there. I wondered if that was something that had to be depressed. If you do, it's very, very firm. The black disc up to the left hand side, by the way, which I'm pointing at, I thought a few of you might question it. That's to do with my smart nav system, the inbuilt satellite navigation system, which is using a telephone system and a subscription, and I've not really sussed out yet. That appears to be the antenna for it. So when I've learnt more about that, I'll share more on that with you. Please subscribe to The Garage, and we'll see you again real soon.